Hi guys, it's Dan here from Survive the Apocalypse. Just thought I'd come out today and show you some wild edibles. It's now sort of like the back end of May, coming into very early June, and I just thought this would be an ideal time of year to come out here and talk to you about some of the wild foods that are available. Just come to this little spot here and straight away there's plenty of resources. Just to the right of me here there's a small patch of willow herb, which when young, so when it's about sort of yay high, you can pick that, clean it up, take all this foliage off, which comes off nice and easy, and you can fry that up or boil it, steam it, and use that eat that a bit like a bit like asparagus really. And the root is also edible. You just peel the outer off, clean it up, and sort of like chew on that. There are other things here, although it's not technically in season yet, but we've got bilberry, which is a very close relative. In fact, it's about as close as you get to blueberries. Of course, blueberries don't naturally occur in this country, they're more of the northern United States. But later on in the year this will produce a berry, which in my opinion tastes a lot better and sweeter than blueberries. And they sort of like come into season about sort of like mid to end of July, beginning of August. There'll be lots of them. They're a bit awkward to pick, because you don't get, they're a bit squashy, so when you pick them you end up with like purple fingers. But there are other things around here that we can use, not necessarily edibles, but again to my right we've got a silver birch tree, which we can use the bark, scrape that up and use that for getting a fire going. We've also got sphagnum moss here, which is growing all around these rocks. What I do with this is try and get a decent sheet up, take it to a stream or a river, sort of wash it through, dry it out, and that makes a brilliant loo roll. Very absorbent. It can be used for other things. I mean, you can use it as a part of a field dressing, or even sanitary towels. But that's another one. There are other things. I've been walking up through the valley to get here, so we'll go back down now and we'll show you some of the foods that are available. Okay, so first plant we've come across is this one, and it's called garlic mustard. Typically grows in the spring. It sort of like comes back again a bit later on in the year. It's easily identified by the leaves, where it's like a heart-shaped leaf with lots of sort of like spears that come off the edge, and it's a fantastic wild edible. It's always better off going for the younger leaves, and they just later on in the year they'll start to become more bitter. In fact, these are starting to go a bit more bitter now. We're sort of like in very late May, but it's all edible. You're all better off picking it in once it's grown, probably about at least 8 to 10 inches off the ground, because there's another plant which the name of it is sort of like past me. It does grow in the same area, but it's not something you want to eat. But and in flowers and season, that's quite punchy. But yeah, so we'll move on, see what else we can find. Came down to this stream here, in the hope that I would come across this plant, which is called Ramsons, or commonly known as wild garlic. It has even just sat here, with a very pungent smell of garlic, and it's actually more closely related to the onion family, but it gets its name because of the smell and the taste. And given saying the taste is that this is a very good wild edible. I wouldn't particularly want to eat loads of it, but you can. It's a good one to mix with other leaves that'll be scattered around this area. But all you have to do, I mean, the entire plant is edible. The leaves, the flowers, stem, and there's a like a small bulb at the bottom. Now, if like a bit further up, there is loads and loads of bluebells. You want to be a bit careful, because the bulb looks very similar to that of the bluebell. Now, while the ramson is perfectly safe to eat, the bluebell is quite poisonous. It will definitely give you a very, very bad stomach and make you ill for a reasonable amount of time. And if you eat too much of them, there is a chance that it would be fatal. So, but no, they make for good eating. It's sort of getting slightly towards the end of the season now, because it's all flowering. So a lot of the leaves they're not as fresh as they were. But this, try and find a cleaner one. So it's easily identified by sort of like the spear shape to the leaf, and predominantly the smell. So it's, yeah, I mean, that's a very, very pungent smell of garlic. But nice. I mean, it's not this time of year. We're now in mid-May. It's a little bit more palatable. When they're very, very young, it's a very intense flavour. And I must admit, it sometimes gives me a little bit of indigestion, but a bit more mellow now. But there are other things you can mix this with. I've seen wood sorrel around. So it's all just about mixing lots of bits from a wider area and just sort of like browsing on certain things. But yeah. Another plant I've just come across is this one here with the yellow flowers. It's part of the Nettle family, although as you can see I'm touching this, I'm not getting stung. That's because it's part of what they call is the dead nettle family. And there's two common ones of these. There's the white dead nettle, which with its name has the white flowers, and this is called yellow archangel. And like all nettles, this is edible. Again, you can eat the leaves. The flowers are pretty nice. Goes well with the salad. So, like here, we've got the ramsons here, so it's something else you can add to the ramsons. And the flowers are very sweet. You've got that nectarishness to it. The leaves here on this one are pretty chewed up, so I mean something else has been eating it. It's probably wood pigeons. Yeah, I just saw this. I just thought I'd point this one out. This is another, something else you can add to your meal list. So we'll go and have a wander now and see what else we can find. Oh. So I've just come across this plant here. You might not recognise it, but you'll recognise the name. It's Burdock. Been used for many years now in dandelion and burdock soft drinks. It's obviously, you know, it's used in soft drinks, so it is edible. It's the root that you'd be after. It's quite a long, fibrous root. Goes down pretty deep, so this is something you'd have to dig out, and depending on the time of year, you know, if it's summer, the ground might be baked solid. You know, you're going to have to put quite a lot of effort into digging this plant up. So it's one of those things. If you know, if you don't really feel that you've got the energy to pull it up, that's actually maybe the time that you do need to pull it up. There's a lot of carbohydrates, so there's a good fair amount of calories in this plant. But today we're going to leave it, and we're just going to head on and see what else we come across. So we've covered a range of wild edibles, ramsons, dead nettle, and a few others. Like everything else, you know, you've got to take in moderation. You've got to respect the environment that you're in. It comes hand in hand with survival and bushcraft. I mean, really, you know, a lot of bushcraft is observation, and you know, you're observing the environment around you, and you become in tune with it, and you have that respect for it. You know, it's a skill that you'll build up over time. You know, it's not something you're going to crack straight away, but you know, I always have a main rule of, you know, don't take everything within an area, just take one. You know, just take what you need, not what you think you're going to need later on, you know, because you'll probably not eat it and it'll go to waste. So yeah, everything in moderation. There'll be more episodes coming up. We're going to cover a whole manner of other things, from camping, other fire lighting methods, other edibles as the seasons go through. We'll do, I mean, with the camping part, we'll do various shelters that you can erect, from things like using a tarp that you can carry around with you, and then the other ones is constructing a shelter literally from what is around in your environment. So we'll go into that in future episodes. There are going to be a lot of episodes to come. This is going to be an ongoing thing. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.